Good morning. Welcome in. Ivan here. It is Tuesday, one day late, for those of you that figured that out. For those of you that didn't, well, you just figured that out. It is Tuesday. It is September 29th. I am Ivan, and we are live on Facebook for our weekly class for our topic of the week. That is what we do. So welcome in. So happy to have you here with me this morning. And I'm very, very excited about this week's topic. I learned of it just a few weeks ago. I'll explain to you how I came about finding out about this topic, this subject, and this conversation. And we'll get into it. It's a huge week in $100,000 hair cutter world. If you are not already registered for the $100,000 hair cutter educational program this week, it is not too late. If you go online, if you go to my website, if you go to any of my Facebook pages, if you go to my Instagram, in the links, you will find the registration link for the 4-part $100,000 hair cutter educational program. This is video-based. It starts October 1st. You get emails containing the videos. So it's not bound to a time of the day. If you're working, if you've got kids in school at home, if you got tons of stuff going on, you watch when you want. So in that way, it is really easy for you guys to participate in this. There's 4 sessions, 4 videos, and then the day after each, because they're every other day in between, there are, just like this right here, Facebook Live sessions to support the content that is a part of this $100,000 hair cutter educational program. So I want to invite you to join. It is absolutely, totally, and completely free. Doesn't cost you a thing. You simply need to register in order to participate. So that starts October 1. You know, we're wrapping up September here. We got one more day in September. That'll be the end of September. It'll be end of 3/4 of the year. It'll be the end of the 3rd quarter and the beginning of the rest of the year. So there's so much going on. There's a lot at stake in this last 90 days of 2020. That's an understatement. But especially as it relates to you and how you and your business finish the year and how you set yourself up for the next year, which is very quickly going to be upon us. Let's get started. Let's start with our reading from $100,000 Hair Cutter. I was using the book the other day, so the bookmark's not in the right spot, but I'm going to find my way over to September 29. September 29, day 272 of the year, with 93 days remaining in the year. And the tip, this one's a cutting tip, a technical cutting tip. Our clipper and barber folk out there, step up from guards to blades. Step up from guards to blades. What we're talking about there is the transition from snap-on attachment guides or guards to interchangeable, detachable, snap-on blades, your full-size rotary motor clippers. And for a long, long time, people have always said, well, what's the difference? I've got guards, I've got blades. The principles are the same, the execution is the same, the action of guards versus blades are the same, but the finish quality and the results are different. I tell people all the time, you get a set of guards with a brand new clipper, and they're perfectly good, and they work perfectly fine, and they will serve you perfectly well for a while. But there will come a point in time in your career in which your personal skills and the needs and demands of your customers will dictate that it will become necessary to step up from guards to blades. Blades have the ability to gain greater purchase on the hair, meaning the ability to grab the hair, hold the hair, and maintain tension between the surface of the scalp and the cutting action of the blade. Therefore, blades are, compared to guards, smoother, velvetier, nicer, evener, quicker. You get a smoother finish faster, and therefore the quality of your work is elevated. And I tell people, you know, blades, I mean, a low-end blade starts at $25 now and goes on up from there. And a set of blades, at minimum, you need 4 blades. The more different types of hair you work with, the more different types of cuts you do, and the more volume you work with, the more blades you will need to round out or fill out your set. So very quickly, at 6 or 7 blades, you're knocking on the $200 price just for blades alone. That doesn't even account for the actual clipper, the handpiece itself. So there's plenty of time where guards will serve you well, and there's definitely a time where you will want to step up to blades. So that's the point of the topic of the week, or the day, for $100,000 hair cutter. Get yourself a paper copy of the book. Audio or digital are available, or you can subscribe online at the Patreon website and receive your $100,000 hair cutter tip of the day every day electronically. So that option does exist for you if you want to go there. The baseball playoffs start today. My Cubbies are in there. We're going to go lay waste to the Fish, Marlins, and then we're going to move on in the playoffs. So that's happening, and excited about that. Will it make the boat go faster? That's our topic of the day for the day. Will it make the boat go faster? What are we talking about here? Well, many of you may know that on a part-time basis, I lead spin classes, indoor cycle classes at a local fitness center, the local fitness center that is operated by the village in which I live. 1-2 classes a week, have a lot of fun with it, keeps me putting miles on, keeps me fast, keeps me busy, keeps me in shape. We got a new general manager of the gym. New GM likes to put interesting things in his signature link at the bottom of all of his emails. So, about 2 weeks ago, he sent out an email with a link to a video asking the question, will it make the boat go faster? And here's what we're talking about. The question was from a video, and the video link is on my web pages. It's everywhere. If you can't find it, just reach out and ask, and I will send you the link to the actual video. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Amy. People are checking in here. I just want to acknowledge them. I'll send you the link to the video. Will it make the boat go faster? The bottom line, the United Kingdom, the UK, the British Olympic rowing team was considered to be not very good. They never really had done well. They'd never performed well. Very little was expected of this team. And a decision was made to make a serious push for the Olympic gold medal in rowing. And they applied a principle that I have used in my haircutting business in the past, which is why this resonated with me when the video was shared with me. And that was the greater concept I call management by mission statement. We'll come back to that idea, management by mission statement, in just a bit. But basically what happened was they asked themselves a question about what they were doing, about the focus of their training, and about their mission and their goal. And the question was fairly simple. The question was, will it make the boat go faster? And what they did was they made all of their decisions based on the answer to the relevant question. Will it make the boat go faster? And in the video, he uses the example, will spending an extra hour on a rowing machine in the gym make the boat go faster? Well, there's a pretty good chance that it will. So guess what? We're going to do that. We're going to spend an extra hour in the gym on the rowing machine. He also uses the example in the video. What about an hour at the pub with the group enjoying a pint? Will it make the boat go faster? Well, the answer they came up with was no. Having a pint at the pub with the crew, while there's a little bit of teamwork there, you could probably try to sell yourself on the idea. The bottom line is no. That will not make the boat go faster. So the answer was no, we're not going to do it. This is this concept, management by mission statement. In this case, it is applied by way of a question. Will it make the boat go faster? If it will make the boat go faster, we're going to do it. If it will not make the boat go faster, we are not going to do it. So my question to you, my challenge to you is, do you have a question? Do you have a clearly defined goal And do you have a question? Now, I want you to go back and watch the video, Will It Make the Boat Go Faster? But I'm going to tell you the end, because the video is still good. Even with, it's not a spoiler. They won the Olympic gold medal that year with no expectations that they would do so, because nobody knew what they were doing. Nobody knew what was going on behind the scenes. Nobody knew that the team had cultivated this focus. So I'm going to say that a part of this idea is your big question, and we'll get more into that in just a moment, is nobody else's business. You don't need to be broadcasting it. You don't need to be sharing it. You don't really need to be talking about it. We could talk about it here in this class this morning, and then you can take this information and you can quietly run with it. Behind the scenes, nobody's looking, nobody's watching. You do you. So, several years ago, I had taught a series of classes at shows and things based on the idea of what I called management by mission statement. And the idea of this is the same, just like the boat question. Chart a course, set a goal, and draft a mission statement for you and your business. Now, your mission statement can be a very long-term mission statement, big picture, 5, 10 years, or your mission statement can be tied to a shorter-term goal, the next 90 days, the next 6 months, the remaining quarter of 2020. And, you know, I'm a big fan of SMART goals, goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, time-bound, and realistic. Realistic and time-bound, S-M-A-R-T. One of the most important letters in SMART goals is time-bound, that you hang a date out there, that you say 90-day goal, that you say end of the year, that you say January 1. But management by mission statement is the idea that you draft your mission statement and you hang it up on the wall. You put it up there as a reminder to you. I do Post-it notes on the mirror in the bathroom. I do a sticky note on the dashboard in my car. Places that I will see these things, places that I will be reminded of these things, to keep it top of mind. Again, may not necessarily be posted publicly, and that's okay. And in a moment, I'm going to share what was my mission statement with my shop. And ours was a long-term goal. It was essentially our marching orders. I like to think of it as a mantra, something you will recite, you will repeat, will become embedded in your brain and your psyche as the focus of your business. But management by mission statement, so simple. Hang the mission statement and then manage your business. Management is about decision making. Whether it is team members coming to you and saying, hey, Ivan, what do we do about this? Or whether it is you on your own at night, on the evening, on the weekend, making decisions about what are the business, going to do to move us forward. The mission statement should be short and simple. I believe a mission statement should fit on one side of a Post-it note. That means it should be about that big. If the mission statement can't fit on a Post-it note, you're trying to do too much. You're biting off too much in one take. You've overcomplicated it. You know, I love the idea that if the answer to a question is more complicated and longer than the question that was asked, you've asked another question. You brought another thing into the mix. Short and simple, fit it on a Post-it note. Every word matters. In just a minute, I am going to share with you what was the mission statement for my business when I owned my shop. And we're going to dissect it. We're going to carve it up. We're going to cut it up. And we're going to look at every single word in the mission statement. Because I believe there should be no extra words. There should be no unnecessary words. And there should only be words that matter a lot. From a guy that's got a lot of words, I know that seems kind of odd, kind of funny, Ivan, but I'll take you through it. Post it and share it, and use it for your decision making. Now, what I can tell you about my business when I had my business, and I almost say this with some pride. Through the time that I owned my haircutting business, I made a lot of mistakes. I screwed up a lot of stuff. I got into the business very early on in my time in the business. I didn't really know a whole lot about the business. That can be a positive or a negative. And I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes I would not make today if I owned the business again. I made a lot of mistakes I would have not have made had I subscribed to the philosophy, had I heard of, had I believed in, and had I stuck with the philosophy of management by mission statement. Because in retrospect, in hindsight, when I look back on my business, and when I recognize mistakes that I made in running my business, in almost every single situation, when I made a mistake, it was because I took my eye off the ball. It was because in one way or another, I deviated from, I departed from, I forgot the mission statement. I ignored the mission statement. I made a decision that was not in concert with, in support of, or connected to the mission statement. Literally almost every mistake I ever made can be traced back to falling off the wagon on the mission statement. So let's talk about my mission statement. I want to share with you what my mission statement was, and I want to explore each and every word. And I know for those of you that have jobs where you work for an organization that posts and shares their mission statement, or you've been a part of some of this, I know my mission statement's going to sound kind of funny. It's going to seem kind of weird. But when we break it down, I think it'll make perfect sense. Our mission statement was, and I quote, I'm going to give it to you straight, the words, and then we'll break it down. The mission statement was, quote, lots of decent haircuts, fast and cheap, comma, products, period. I'm going to say that again. Lots of decent haircuts, fast and cheap, products. That was our mission statement. What the heck was that? Well, let's break it down. Let's take a look at it. We were a haircutting business. And the mission statement, lots of decent haircuts, fast and cheap, comma, product. Lots. Let's look at it one word at a time. Lots. We were going to be volume. Volume was fundamental to our business. We had 24 chairs in the waiting room. We had 8 chairs in the cutting area. We had a rotating staff of 24 haircutters on the floor. We did 330 to 350 haircuts every single day. One of the keys of our business was volume, was doing large numbers of haircuts. So lots, L-O-T-S, was in the mission statement. Because if we weren't doing a lot of haircuts, we were doing something wrong. Of, that's a filler word. We're not going to pay any attention to that one. Lots of, but it tells us what we were doing. Decent. Lots of decent haircuts. Now, let's jump ahead to haircuts. We were a haircut business. We were not doing pedicures. We were not doing manicures. We were not doing waxing. We were not doing perms. We were not doing facials. We were not doing shaves. We were not doing anything but haircuts. The word haircuts was in our mission statement. If it wasn't a haircut, we shouldn't have been doing it. It's just that simple. If we were not cutting hair, we weren't doing what we should be doing to move our mission forward. We were a haircut business. Lots of decent haircuts. Let's back up now. Decent. Decent. That word was chosen very, very specifically. We didn't want to do any crappy haircuts. We wanted to make that very, very clear. But we also did not believe we were going to be doing the best haircuts in the business. We never said we were. Vidal Sassoon. We never said we were the best haircuts in town, in the state, in the nation. We were going to do decent haircuts. We wanted to do good haircuts. We wanted to do haircuts people would be okay with. Okay was the goal. Understand the goal. And it's an okay goal. I know there may be people listening to this whose aspiration for haircuts is greater, whose desire to produce haircuts at a higher level is higher. That's fine. You do you. This was me. Lots of decent haircuts. That's the first 4 words. Lots of decent haircuts. So now, understand. Yes, John, we were busy. 330 to 350 haircuts every day. And this is where we go with this. Lots of decent haircuts. That's the first half of the mission statement. Volume. Focus on haircuts and do them well. Fast and cheap. That's the next 3 words. Fast and cheap. If we were going to do lots, we needed to be efficient. We wanted to be very respectful of people's time. We did not want to spend 45 minutes on a haircut. Our goal was 3 haircuts per hour for all team members. Our goal was that everyone could turn out 3 haircuts per hour. That a 20-minute haircut was something everyone could do. And that's fast. That's relatively fast. That's not 6 an hour, but it's not 1 an hour. Fast and cheap. We were going for volume, remember lots. In order to do a lot, we were going to have to play on price. I don't do this currently in my business. I don't believe in this for a lot of folks today in the business. But I'm good with decent haircuts. Thank you, Troy. I couldn't agree with you more. Lots of decent haircuts. Fast and cheap. So we wanted to be quick and we had to be cheap because we weren't doing great. So we had another reason why people would come to us. We were huge with coupons. We were crazy with the price. We ran coupons on the back of the cash register tape at the grocery store. We gave away a ton of free haircuts. We did buy one, get one free. We did Dad, bring your kid. We did all kinds of things that were super, super focused on driving the volume up and keeping the price down. Now, I think it's important to mention, every single hair cutter that worked for me earned wages higher than industry average for the entire time that I owned my business. The people that worked for me made good money. Very good money for the time. That money was tied to the volume. It wasn't tied to the pricing. We could talk about that on another occasion. Lots of decent haircuts, fast and cheap. Product. We had, and this is where the money comes from, guys, we had product in our mission statement. The use, recommendation, suggestion, and sale of take-home hair care product was fundamental to our mission. It was mentioned in our mission statement. Lots of decent haircuts, fast and cheap, product. That was my mission statement. That was what was on, it'll fit on a Post-it, and that was what we used to make all of our decisions. Will this idea help us do more haircuts? We'll do it. Will this idea keep our prices down? We'll do it. Will this idea allow us to do good haircuts, decent haircuts? We'll do it. Will this cost us volume? We're not going to do it. Will this cost us more money and make our haircuts more expensive? We're not going to do it. Is this advanced technical training class going to make our haircuts super crazy good? We're not going to do it. Lots of decent haircuts, fast and cheap, product. Will this decision help us sell more product? Let's go. I'm in. Let's jump. Will it make the boat go faster? That's the video. That's the mantra. That's the title of this program. That's the question that the British rowing team was asking themselves. So what I will ask you now is, what's your question? What is your question? What are you going to ask you to help you focus on your business and your business growth? I'll give you some examples of questions to help you potentially craft your question/mission statement. Will this earn me a new client? If you're in a growth mode in which new client acquisition, new customer acquisition, the desire to have more new haircut customers, if that's what's driving your business right now, a great example of your will it make the boat go faster question would be, will this earn me a new client? Will this cause the client in my chair to send me a referral? Will this put a new body in my waiting room? Will this get someone new across the front door threshold? What if your goal right now is client retention? What if your goal right now is getting your current clients to come back? Whether from COVID, getting them to come back the first time, or whether getting them to come back more often. Will this result in my client coming back? If rebooking is the goal you're currently driving, great question. Will this bring this client back? Another great question, perhaps you're driving average ticket. Perhaps you recognize that your capacity is limited. There's only so many haircuts I can do. Perhaps you realize that you're in a highly competitive environment. There's only so many clients I can get. Then it becomes fundamental that you take more money from every customer. That's called driving average ticket. Will this increase my average ticket? Will this result in any one customer spending more money on their visit? That's called driving average ticket. And of course, if you're in the mode where you're focusing on product, it's all about product sales. I want every client sitting in my chair to purchase a take-home hair care product. Imagine that. Just close your eyes with me for a minute. And imagine the money at the end of the day. Imagine the profit at the end of the week or the month. Imagine the dollars you would have to enjoy. Are your eyes still closed? My eyes are still closed. Imagine the money you would have if next week every single customer bought one product. If every single customer next week took home just one product. Imagine the impact that would have on your bottom line. If that's your goal, your question, will it make the boat go faster? Will this sell more take-home product? Will my activities, will the words coming out of my mouth, will my statements, will my actions, will my behavior result in one more product sale? So those are examples of questions. Now, I do want to talk about the idea that your question might be the question that you utilize for a year. Big picture, long term. Big question. It could be a question for a quarter. What if you ask yourself one question from now till New Year's? October, November, and December, the last quarter of the year, which is upon us now, starting Thursday. That this is what I'm going to focus on. What would happen to your business if for the remaining 3 months, 90 days give or take, one quarter of the year, you focused on one thing? You all know about the book, 100 by 100. That's what this is. This book is a focus. This book is 100 new haircut customers in 100 days. Totally hyper-focused on new customer acquisition. There's nothing in here on retail. There's nothing in here on retention. There's nothing in here on average ticket, really. Although I always talk about those things. This book is about 100 new customers, which transforms your business, transforms your chair, and has the capability of transforming your life. But it's a total hyper-focus. If this was your goal, if you bought the book, if you're reading the book, if you're applying the book and using the book, your question becomes, will this gain me a client? Will this gain me a client? Your mission statement right here could be as simple as 100x 100. 100 by 100. 100 new haircut customers in 100 days. You don't even have to spell it out. It could just be 7 digits. 100x100. That's how simple this can be. That's how focused you can become with a goal like this. Could you have a different goal every month? Yes, you could. If a month is a period of time in which you can track and measure your business and have an impact, could you have a different question of the week every week? I don't think so in a big picture context, because if you had a different question of the week every single week, every week your focus would be different and you'd be bouncing around too much. And with our client cycles and the way in which we operate our businesses, I don't think a weekly shift in questioning is enough. I don't think the rowing team, in asking, will it make the boat go faster, had a different question the following week. That question probably served them more than a year. The simple question, will it make the boat go faster? I want to help you define your question. I want to help you figure out, what is your boat? What is your speed? What is your goal? What is your mission? And how can you lock in on it? And how can you reinforce it with yourself, in your decision making, and through your team, translate it down to boots on the ground action on a daily basis to achieve your goals. There's lots of information out there on this. The podcast is up and out. Check the link on my Instagram or the link on my website. The text blog came out on Tuesday, Text Blog Tuesday. This video will be up for repeat, for review, for replay watch. If you came in or checked in with us or joined us a little bit late, you want to go back to the beginning and find out just what the heck it is I've been talking about. You're encouraged and invited to do that. And I want to remind everyone that my 4-part $100,000 haircutter video series begins on Thursday. My video series begins on Thursday. It's totally free. You'll get emails. You watch as you wish. John, I'm going to get to your question in just a second. But I want to encourage everybody, register, go sign up. The link is on my Instagram. It's all over my social media. If you can't find it, reach out to me and I will connect you with it. John, your question. Do you have any suggestions, software templates to track client frequency for retention? Most of the good booking apps, I use Booksy, will track client retention. There are some manual systems, and I've got some great templates coming out. You mentioned templates. Be on the lookout. Sometime in the next 14 days, before the middle of October, there will be a new tab on my website with downloadable templates. I've been working on these to really help people manage their business. So, John, your question is very, very timely, right on the money, with some great stuff out there for tracking frequency and tracking client retention. There's some great manual ways to do that and some great automated ways to do it as well. So follow up with me, check it out, connect, and let me help you paddle the boat just a little bit faster. Listen to the podcast, read the blog post. Let's talk again soon. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.